Hello and welcome everyone again into another video. Today's video we will be talking about the top teams in Master League. I know, every season you guys ask me and I don't do it, but I'm gonna do it this time. Okay, we are having a top teams for the Master League. And I was hesitant to do it because, to be honest, I didn't want anyone to be pushed to play Master League because of a video I uploaded. I know everyone has the option to choose, but I would feel bad to recommend Master League in the past, because I would feel like some people will take their stuff to level 50 and they will be left without stuff to play Master League level 40. But the thing is, Niantic confirmed to us finally that there won't be level 40 leagues anymore. So it's either going to be like level 50s, and there won't be restrictions on XLs. There won't be leagues that are restricted from XLs. So every league, we will have XLs. So in today's video, if you don't know me, I'm Yasser Ali. I stream on Twitch every day, almost 3 p.m. Central Time, and during the weekends as well. And today we'll be talking about the meta, basically, and what are the most common teams. So let's talk about the main codes in this league, and then we go about anti-meta stuff, and then we talk about the teams. So the main codes, I divided them into leads, safe swaps, and generalist. Generalist, again, is good everywhere. It can be a good lead, it can be a good safe swap, and it's good in the back as a closer. Leads tend to be only good in the lead. Safe swaps technically could be generalist, but what's the difference between a safe swap and a generalist? Is that safe swap can actually flip the close games by having an energy lead, where a closets, they have more potential to nuke than to have charge move pressure. So, and for the closets, they tend to be good, and whenever the shields are down. Leads, Palkia is a good lead. I mean, Palkia is only good in the lead because if it catch a good lead, you can literally just RPS the opponent all the way down until you win the game. If you get a bad lead, it's tough to come back from, but Palkia doesn't get walled technically by anything. Yeah, it get destroyed by Dialga, but it's not as bad of a matchup because Palkia wins CMP against Dialga. It's one of two Pokemons, Palkia and Mewtwo. And maybe Landorus. And some people will say Deoxys attack. Yeah, I know Deoxys attack wins CMP, but no one's gonna use Deoxys attack. Ho-Oh is a solid lead. Why? Ho-Oh is one of those Pokemons that has a debuff move where it decreases your attack, the Sacred Fire. Whenever it if it decreases your attack by 2 stages, which means that you throw the Sacred Fire twice, your attack will start doing nothing, which means Ho-Oh will be able to win the lead. Landorus is known for one of the very few Pokemons that can beat Dialga and Zacian, and those two are the most common 2 Pokemons in Master League. So that's why Landorus is a good lead, because you're either catching Dialga or Zacian, which is literally more than 60% of the leads. Dragonite, why Dragonite is good? Dragonite technically now is the second best dragon after Dialga. Why? Because it gets superpower, which made it an anti-steal Pokemon. You can literally beat all the steals, and you beat Ho-Oh. I mean, it's a close matchup. Brave does 90% or something. You beat Palkia. Why? Because you have a Dragon Claw. Palkia does not have a Dragon Claw, which is a shame, to be honest. Palkia should get Dragon Claw. Imagine a legendary Pokemon, the highest attack dragon in the game, and PvP, because no one use what's that thing? Rayquaza. The highest attack Pokemon lose to other dragons. Palkia lose to Garchomp, Palkia lose to Dragonite, and lose to Dialga. Why? Because it doesn't have the Dragon Claw. Give it Dragon Claw. There is no reason not to be honest. Literally, Dragonite is a non-legendary Pokemon that you can catch in the wild, and it has so many charge moves and so many fast moves. You can have many options with that, and it's a free Pokemon. And technically, usually what you pay to get is supposed to be better than what you catch in the wild, or what's supposed to be free. Maybe Niantic is preparing for something legacy, because we're seeing lots of legacy moves added to their recently we've been seeing lots of signature moves that have been added to their Pokemon, Reshiram and Zekrom are getting their signature move. Kyurem got its signature move as well. Giratinas both got their signature move. Yes, it's bad stats, but to be honest, those Giratines are already very dominant. You can't just make them more dominant than they are So I don't mind them having a bad move, to be honest, as a signature move. I mean, it's supposed to be good because signature, right? But again, if it gets a good move, it's like it's already dominant. It's like giving as a charm. Like, would you like to see that? Yeah, now have the comment will be like, oh, please give as a charm. Groudon. What's good about the Groudon? It's another Pokemon that can beat Dialga and Zacian, but Groudon technically gets easy walled by Flyer, so if you get a Flyer lead, it's very tough to come back from. And that's where a Pokemon like Solgaleo shine. That's why like Solgaleo is good at. Solgaleo is the best code breaker to the Algazation teams and doesn't mind the steel Pokemons, because usually like people counter Dialga with a steel or a Zacian, and Solgaleo beats the steel, beats Dialga, beats Zacian, and it's the best Pokemon at doing that. There is no Pokemon that can break those three better than Solgaleo. Yes, I know it sucks that we only have one, but you can lucky trade it, you know that? You can lucky trade it, so if you get a good IV lucky trade, 15 attack, 15, 12, 12, I would take it to 50. It's literally free MMR right now. The safe swaps. Again, safe swaps are Pokemon that do not get walled, or they can flip close matchups with energy lead. Like Giratina. Giratina can beat Dialga with like 3 Shadow Claw lead. Yveltal. Yveltal technically only get walled by Zacian. Other than that, there is no Pokemon that can wall it. We're like, oh, I don't know what to do with my energy. Like, this thing resists all of my charge moves. Melmetal. Melmetal doesn't beat anything, but also doesn't lose to anything that hard. Why? Because it has an amazing charge move pool. It has almost everything. Yo, where's the music? Okay, it's in the back. Which is good. Like, it's good. Why? I mean, it's a Pokemon that everyone can get, so we can play Master League, you know? Like, I literally have 3 or 4 level 50 Pokemons. One of them is Melmetal, and it's good because it's a Pokemon that doesn't get walled by anything, and I can use it as a safe swap or a lead to be the Dialgas. What's that? Zarude. What's Zarude good at? Zarude was good at those Kyogre Mewtwo teams because they were everywhere like the last 3 seasons, and then Zarude came in and he beats both. I mean, by beat, destroy both. That's what Zarude is good at. Kyogre. If you're in Kyogre Mewtwo, watch out from the Zarude outside. I know you only get one, but hey, it's mythical. And Zarude is bad in Great League and Ultra League. If you want to use it, it's better be used in Master League. If you are one of those lucky people who got a 15 attack Zarude, I think you don't need 15. 13 attack is enough. Oh, 13 or 14, I am not sure. Maybe I should do a video about that. But yeah, if you're one of those lucky people, I recommend taking it to 50. Because we're not getting a second one anytime soon. Kyurem. What's the Kyurem is good at? Kyurem has a debuff move. It's basically an Icy Wind clone that's either 5, I think it's 5 energy less. And if they don't have a hard answer, by a hard answer, what is a hard answer to Kyurem? I think Excadrill is 1. But it's not a hard answer. No, it's not Excadrill. It's Zacian. Zacian is just a hard wall to it. But if you have energy lead, if you have 100 energy lead, you just spam those Icy Wind clone move. I don't know what's the name of that move, but it's a good move. It's a very good move. And I think Niantic will nerf it whenever people start using this Pokemon. But no one's gonna use it. So yeah, that's why you should use it. Landorus. What's the difference between this Landorus and this one? This Landorus is good at RPSing the Algazation teams, and it's only good in the lead because you need to swap out when you use Superpower. This one doesn't have Superpower, it has Earth Power, which is kind of dumb. Like the weak version has a better moveset than the good version. Why? Explain, Niantic. Why Landorus, which is supposed to be the Mewtwo of the ground Pokemons, has a bad moveset? It literally has non-stab charge moves. It's just another version. It's like a Melmetal that's weak to Kyogre. Like, why would you? I don't know. Maybe we're getting some legacy move anytime soon. But just give it Earth Power. We don't need anything else. Give it Earth Power and Rock Slide, just like this one. Give them both moveset. I know if this one gets Earth Power, Rock Slide, and this one has no use. Exactly, because this one's not the good one. It's not supposed to be better than the good one. Generalist. Those Pokemons do not get walled. They are good in the lead, they are good in the swap, they are good in the back. Zacian, the best Pokemon. I know it's like rank 20-ish in PvPoke. Same for Dialga, rank 30-ish. But they are the best too. Why? Because there is Like the PvPoke ranking is like would use the Pokemon versus the entire Master League roster, eligible Pokemons for Master League. But the thing is, people only use 6 to 7 Pokemons, and the organization are the best at beating those 6-7 Pokemons. Excadrill is like the budget Pokemon that everyone can get and compete in Master League. Mewtwo is just a Mewtwo. Give a Mewtwo energy lead. As long as they don't have Yveltal, you should win any game. Giratina is like the most annoying Pokemon in Master League. It doesn't die to anything, and it can spam fast moves like nothing. And it can flip games with just a slight energy lead, and it can RPS so many stuff. The good thing about this Giratina over this Giratina is that Giratina Origin died to 2 Side Strikes. Giratina Alter does not die to 2 Side Strike. They need a Shadow Ball and a Side Strike, or Ice Beam and Side Strike, which is good, which means this Giratina can come back and still beat a Mewtwo even if a Mewtwo has energy lead. Now, Kyogre. What's wrong with Kyogre? Kyogre is like the best Pokemon that beats stuff that aren't dragons. If you want to beat non-dragons, you have a Mewtwo and you have Kyogre. Why? Kyogre is more reliable in level 50 because a Mewtwo cannot fast move down anything in level 50. Well, in level 40, it can fast move some stuff down after you land the Side Strike. So I prefer Kyogre over a Mewtwo in level 50 because it's a better non-dragons counter. Reshiram and Zekrom both are getting their legacy moves, so they are supposed to be slightly better, but they are still a bad version of Dialga. Lugia is my favorite legendary Pokemon, and it's there because it's my favorite, and if I say it's a top Pokemon, it's a top Pokemon. Okay, this is my video, and you're watching. So if you're watching the video now, please consider subscribing so I can give you my my best opinions on the stuff that you guys are supposed to use. Yeah, literally. So, moving to the anti-meta Pokemon. Those are the meta. What are the anti-meta stuff? Gyarados. What's Gyarados is good about? I mean, it's another Kyogre. If you don't have a Kyogre, you can use Gyarados. It's a Kyogre that has 1200 less CP. Xerneas. What's Xerneas good at? It's a bad Zacian. Conkeldurr. If you are one of the lucky people who has a hundo and you're gonna max out before this thing gets a community day, it beats Dialga and Excadrill. That's it. Metagross. What's Metagross good at? It's good at farming down Zacian. Meloetta, it's a confusion user, probably the only confusion user. And with the buff to quick attack, it's now better with quick attack. I don't recommend confusion because quick attack can make it spammy. It's a bulky Pokemon, so it can benefit from this bulk to throw more charge moves. Shadow Snorlax, I mean, it's supposed to be level 50. What's Shadow Snorlax good at? Shadow Snorlax is good at beating those budget Pokemons. Garchomp, it's my favorite Pokemon, that's why it's here. Garchomp used to be a solid dragon. Now with the buff to Dragonite, the Dragonite took Garchomp's place as being the best budget dragon. Now it's Dragonite, but it used to be Garchomp. Mamoswine is much better now with the buff to the with getting access to high horsepower, which means now it can one-shot Dialga plus the powdered snow damage, while it used to not do that, where you just go straight avalanche because it's more reliable. Now you throw the high horsepower and you can win the 1-0, where like before, no you can't because you had like Bulldoze is just a horrible move. Ursaluna, I mean, Niantic did this Pokemon bad. Like, they just made it a horrible Pokemon. I know some people, one person hit number 1 in leaderboard during Master League with this Pokemon, but again, that person is so good at this game. And this Pokemon had much more potential, with Shadow Claw being the best budget Pokemon that can beat most of the legendaries. Niantic gave it like the slacking treatment, where they were like, okay, give it good moveset, but horrible fast move. And that's what happened to it. It literally was supposed to be the best budget Pokemon. Zamazenta, it's a budget Zacian. Buzzwole, best fighter in the game. And Togekiss now is bad because of the nerf to Charm. Spicy stuff, you can use a Swampert. If you want to spice it up, you can use Haxorus as like a card dragon with counter that lose to other dragons and everything else technically. Gyarados here is being spicy while here being anti-meta. Why do I have it twice? What's this? Evolution? It's not as good as it used to be with Los Giratina double charm teams because of the nerf to charm. Rayquaza is just bad. It doesn't have good moveset, and it doesn't have enough bulk to compete in Master League. Where like a Pokemon like a Dragonite literally has a much better use because of the access, because of it has access to so many charge moves and fast moves. The GOAT. What's good about Virizion? It's a grass with a fighting fast move, which means you can beat Kyogre and Dialga. That's it. But at one point, 2 seasons ago, Dialga Kyogre core was the most common core in Master League and everyone was using. And Virizion was the best core breaker to that team. Hippowdon is just a budget Pokemon. You can use it if you have maxed out one. So that's the only use, literally. Magnezone, it can beat Dialga, by the way. You know, shield the first move and you just throw to wild charge and they can KO. Now like we talked about the Pokemons. I know we took 15 minutes to talk about these, but I know this is my first video about Master League and it's been since like season 11 or season 10 last time I did the Master League, so I felt like I need to talk more about the Pokemons themselves. Now moving to the top teams. The top team according to PvPoke last season was Zarude, Zacian, Excadrill. Why? Because those three technically covered the entire meta. This team is good on paper. Is it good everywhere? I don't know. This is what the Sims simulated and assumed that this meta, this team doesn't get walled, which is actually true. But this team is not supposed to work technically because people only use 5 to 10 Pokemons. That's it. And that's like where my favorite team, or the team I use, considered like better because it has more coverage in the meta. Dialga, Lugia with Kyogre. What's this team good at? It's my favorite team. It's the team I use in Master League. So what's the team is good at? This team is good at being my favorite team in Master League. So it's kind of ABA weak to Steel, but to be honest, people stopped using leading Steel. People always, whenever they have a Steel, it's Giratina double Steel. So if they swap in Excadrill, you go in Kyogre and you farm it all the way down, and then Dialga and Lugia can kill the Melmetal in the back or the Metagross. It's not that hard, that tough of a matchup. And Lugia versus Giratina is not a bad matchup because you also have a super effective Dragon Tail damage. Now the best team on Go Battle Log, but Go Battle Log have, you know, like access and they give you updated like what's the best teams on every day. I do have a link if you want to sign up using to access, if you want to sign up to their website. I will leave it in the description. And I think you get like a discount, like $1 or something. So if you want the best team on Go Battle Log, which is supposed to be the most used team, Mewtwo, Dialga, Zacian, and this is where like it's more reliable than any other source because it gives you the top teams based on the usage and how many people are using and what is the win rate, and PvPoke gets their data from Go Battle Log. So if you see PvPoke posting top teams, that's like they get the data from Go Battle Log. So PvPoke does the Sims, Go Battle Log posts the teams, and PvPoke has access to the data usage from Go Battle Log. But who posts usage on Go Battle Log? I mean, lots of players who have access to Go Battle Log, they update the teams. Like they put like, okay, I played this team, 25 matchups, and these are the teams. These are the teams I won versus these were the teams I lost. And based on the win rate and the usage on how many times people saw this team, it gets ranked. Another team that was also considered a top team. What's the difference? It's literally the same. You replace Mewtwo with Giratina. Depend. Do you see lots of Steel lead? Yes. Use Giratina. Do you see lots of random stuff? You use a Mewtwo because the Mewtwo doesn't get walled. Now these are like top teams in my opinion, but what about consistent teams? The most consistent team from Nice's, my teammate, aka exclamation mark ticket, Ed has been playing this team literally since season 4. Dialga double dragons. I used to use Palkia before, and then he switched the dragon between Palkia, Zekrom, and the Dragonite, while he keeps Mewtwo and Dialga always there. And you can use Zacian as a third. You can give him a follow on his Twitch, and you can check like how he plays this team, because this is literally the only team he plays since forever. And he memorized all of the matchups, so he can play this team blindly without even looking. Yo, I need to ask him to do that. Yo, that's a good idea. I will be on his stream on this Friday around midnight Central Time, and I will ask him to play this team blindfolded. Another team I want to mention is from Home Slice Henry. If you guys don't know Home Slice Henry, he's a YouTuber. He has a YouTube channel at youtube.com/@HomesliceHenry. Let's be honest, everyone knows Home Slice Henry. What's the good thing about his team? He has, I mean, I believe this is the best Sol Galileo team, and Sol Galileo is the best answer to the current Master League meta. And he climbed to 3,500 for the first time using this team. So if Henry can do it, you can do it. Yeah, so no one has the capability of making a Sol Galileo. Well, that's why we watch Henry, because he is willing to put any required efforts to make a good video. That's why he's like one of the best YouTubers in this game. And yeah, like his dedication to making new solid content is actually admirable. That's what I admire about watching his videos. Another team with this team. Why I wanted to talk about this team? Because both of those trainers actually... Yeah, let me say it this way. Both of those trainers were using this team, and Neil Armstrong hit #1 with this team. I believe he don't started using it, but Neil popularized it. Something like this. I mean, they are both very close friends, and this was the team they both used. Palkia, Zacian, Metagross. Technically, to answer to Dialga, if they lead Dialga, you go to Metagross. It's a soft answer. You can win the game by shielding the Draco or by no shielding an Iron Head. You can play the baiting game, and Zacian's there to clap those Dialga leads. Another team that was also very solid, and the one who used it actually was climbing very high on the leaderboard. Was popularized by HouseStark93, one of the best players who played this game. And you can check his live stream at twitch.tv/HouseStark93. He uses Ho-Oh double dragons, and I believe he's the best one at using double dragons. What about Nice's? Nice is using Mewtwo, Dialga, Zacian now. Technically, he only uses one dragon. Okay, let's not make some drama here. Hopefully, what's the difference between Ho-Oh double dragon and Mewtwo double dragon? It's actually that Ho-Oh is better than Mewtwo in level 50 because Ho-Oh is tanky and can tank charge moves. A Mewtwo cannot tank any charge move. If you're using Mewtwo, you have to go down shields early in the game. Where like with this team, you can decide to shield Ho-Oh or no shield Ho-Oh, shield Dialga, no shield Dialga, shield Zekrom or no shield Zekrom. All of those Pokemon has a respectable stat product where they can live where you can risk calling a bait sometimes. Where with a Mewtwo, you can't risk that. Another team was popularized by Panic23, and I think he hit number 10 on leaderboard or number 7. I am not sure. I know he doesn't play this team anymore, but this team deserves to be featured, to be honest. Dialga, Zacian, Yveltal. Yes, so many stuff technically are the same teams. Yes, Dialga, Zacian are just the best core. So you either play them or you play a hard answer to those teams. And this is how you play Master League. And yeah, Yveltal deserves to be mentioned because Yveltal is the hardest answer to those Giratina or Mewtwo safe swaps. So if Mewtwo is very popular, you use this team. And if Mewtwo is very popular in the swap, you use this team. The Crimson 19 by the Crimson 19, the bold streamer. Ribbozo, all these names, Buzzwole to Legend. He hit Legend with this team. Is it this team? No. Yeah, he hit Legend by paid actors. But that doesn't mean his team doesn't deserve to be featured. Yeah, so this team is literally Dialga, Zacian with a third. Yes, Dialga, Zacian with any third can work. And if a Crimson made it, you can make it, okay? You literally can make it. Believe in yourself. Crimson did it, everyone can. Dialga, Zacian with a third. What's your favorite Pokemon? Throw it there and you can have a good team. See, teams deserve to be featured. Old but Gold. This is the team that was made by Lolar Sox back in Season 1 or Season 2. And still one of the best teams. Home Slice, Henry, no. What's his name? Science Sensei. Triple S. He used this team back in season 3. It's still a good team, and you can have more flexibility with this team using Dragontail Groudon. Now, those are like very expensive teams. Also, the team by the Not 93 himself, Dialga Giratina. This is a classic core. This is used to be like the most common core before Dialgazation, Dialga Giratina, and he uses Landorus with those two. Now, what's the best? And like, these are like meta teams. Do you have anti-meta budget teams? Yeah, I do have budget teams. And the one that was made by Pokemango, one of the best players in the world, he hit number 14 in the own leaderboard at number 13. And he hit 3600. He wasn't able to hit 3700 last season. But hey, 3600 is already a lot of MMR, okay? Especially for a streamer, someone who streams his battles and can get sniped. Dragonite Double Steel is one of the most common teams in the Master League Premier Classic, but he used this one in the Master League Open, and he was one of the very first few people to hit 3500 and 3600 last season in Master League. This team is very budget. I have a YouTube video about this team. You can find it in the channel. Dragonite Double Steel Pokemango using this team to hit 3600, something like this. And I believe it's the best budget Pokemon. If you don't have legendaries, you can use this team. And watch the videos to learn how to play most of the matchups. Because I believe since it's a budget, so you have to play perfectly most of the time to win the games. But like with the Algazation teams, there is like a room for like making mistakes. You can still come back to the game. And another budget team is the team I used to hit Legend 2 seasons ago. Togekiss, Garchomp, Giratina. I believe Togekiss is not as good as it used to. It's just bad now. It's just bad. And those people who were hoping for nerfing Charm, they actually nerfed the budget Charmer that could be used in Master League, so now you can't use it. And yeah, that's the end of the video. I know I talked a lot, but yeah, hey, I haven't made a Master League video in like forever, so I felt like there's like lots of stuff I need to talk about and mention to the amazing people who are watching and about to subscribe if they haven't. Because 80% of my viewers are non-subs, so if you like the content, leave a like and please consider subscribing. This is the end of the video, and see you in the next one. Peace.